Good morning, readers. Today we will be talking about taking notes. Go ahead and get out your reading learning intention sheet, fill in the date, fill in the book that you think you might be reading, and today as a reader I am working on taking notes. Readers, you've already been working on your immigration expert packet, and you have two sheets that look like this and this. The first sheet has a people, places, and events, and you should be filling that out with a word or two in each column each time you read. And then the second is a place where you can record notes from your books. Today we're going to be talking about the different kinds of notes that you can record. Last week I showed you a box and bullets as well as a main idea and details paragraph. We're going to learn more this week. Readers, the first thing I want to show you is that you can take notes even from a chart. So I found a book that had this chart in it, and it was total immigration by decade from 1820 all the way to 2010. And this chart shows how many people immigrated to America each decade. And I wanted to focus in on the decades that I'm focused on. So I didn't record every date on here. I only recorded the ones that I think that I want for my project. So readers, I took this note. I recorded that this was from Blendspace, and it's Blendspace number 8, so feel free to take a look at it if you'd like. And then I put the title, Immigration Numbers by Decade, and I recorded the 1850s all the way through the 1920s. And I wanted to show how immigration peaked in the 1900s. Readers, then I created a timeline, and I kind of created a timeline that looks a little bit like the chart. It shows the up and down of the immigrants. So on my chart you can see that in the 1870s 2.7 million people immigrated, in the 1880s 5.2, then it dipped in the 1890s and it was 3.6. And then in the 1900s, immigration peaked with 8.2 million. 1910s went down to 6.3, in the 1920s, 4.2. Readers, I wrote this note because I wanted to remember that in the 1900s, immigration peaked at 8.2 million. So readers, another kind of note that you can take would be a note that has a timeline or a chart written out. Readers, I also started a timeline on the back of my packet, and my timeline looks like this. It goes from 1820 to 1924. And I chose those dates because those are the dates that I'm focused on studying. I want to know how immigration occurred between those two dates. I also know that is the peak time that immigrants were coming to America. So, in 1924, immigration laws were passed that limited the number of people who could enter the U.S., so I put that on my timeline. I also added that World War II began in 1914. In 1892, Ellis Island opened, and the Statue of Liberty was given to the U.S. from France in 1886. Now, as I said, this is just the beginning of a timeline, so some other dates that I'm going to add to my timeline are when Castle Gardens opened and closed, when the Irish immigrants came to the U.S., and when German immigrants came to the U.S. As I read, I'm going to look for that information so I can add it to my timeline. Also, if I come across any other dates that I think are important, I'm going to add those to my timeline. Alright readers, now it's your turn. So we're going to take a look at a page from the book Why German Immigrants Came to America, and this book is by Lewis K. Parker. And we are going to look at this page, and I specifically want you to focus on this chart. And it says large German populations in the United States. Take a look at that map. Think about what kind of note you could take from that map. Give me a thumb up when you have an idea. Right now, I want you to turn and talk with your partner about what kind of note you could take from that map. Now, readers, I would like you to get out your packet and go ahead and record that note in your packet. I told you that this book is Why German Immigrants Came to America. It's by Lewis K. Parker, so be sure to include those two things. And then you're going to focus in on this map and write a note in your packet about this map. Readers, today you are going to either read on Chromebooks or from a book, depending on whether or not it's your day to read on a Chromebook. You don't have to read on a Chromebook if you have a book you would rather read from. The most important thing that you are doing today is taking notes. As you read, be sure to look for specific information on a topic, as well as general information about immigration. Let's make it a great reading day.